Hey guys, welcome to Wild Man Creations. If this is your first time joining me, my name is Jay. And first of all, I'll get into the recipe here in a minute, but I wanted to address something. Got a troll on my channel that wants to give negative comments. Okay, I'm not going to put up with that. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you guys want to leave negative comments, just move on. I'll find a way to delete them, and I'll probably find a way to block you. You know, I welcome the comments and I welcome constructive criticism or suggestions, but don't be ugly about it. So, you know, best I can tell you is if you're going to do that, you can go have aeronautical intercourse with a circular pastry in motion. Okay, I'm not going to put up with it. Don't be a, you know what. I'm on here to show you the way that I do things. And you can Google any of the recipes that I do and you'll find there's a zillion different ways. Now, if you don't like the way that I'm preparing it or the way that I present it, keep in mind, I haven't been doing this very long. I'm not a professional. So if you don't like it, move on. I'm not going to put up with it. But anyway, tonight we're going to have some fun. We're going to make some bread pudding. I've been having a craving for this for a couple of weeks. There's several different ways to make it. I'm going to add something a little bit different tonight that I haven't done before. I always put raisins in it, but I saw a recipe that had some apples in it. So I bought a Granny Smith apple. I'm going to dice it up and put it in there because I think it'll give it just a little bit of a tart, flavor to it. Also, there's several different sauces you can put on there, and traditionally you do a rum sauce. Unfortunately, I don't have any rum, and I'm not going to run to the liquor store tonight to get some, but I am going to make a vanilla sauce that would be more like what you would put on maybe some cinnamon rolls or something like that. I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to make that and put that on there, but I'm going to leave the recipe for both of those and the bread pudding in the description box. So in the meantime, I've got all this stuff over here. I'm going to get it prepared. I bought a loaf of French bread. Now you can cut it up with a knife, and I'll do a little bit of that. But to me, it's just easier if you just tear it off in different chunks. So we're going to do that, and then I've got all this other stuff that I'm going to measure out because you don't need to see me. It'll take the video too long for me to measure everything and do it while I'm going. So I'm going to cut away, get that done, and then we'll be back. So y'all sit tight. All right, so I got my bread cut up, tore up from the floor up. I melted my 3 tablespoons of butter, and I'm just going to kind of drizzle that on there. Set that aside. Don't beat the eggs for about 3 minutes, so I'm not going to put y'all through that. That's too much on the video. We're going to do that, and then we're going to add everything else, and then we'll set it in the pan and get everything else mixed up. Sit tight, we'll be right back. All right, so we're going to put in, we've already mixed up our eggs. We're going to put in 2 cups of milk. A cup of sugar. A teaspoon of cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of cardamom, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Come here, baby. Give that a little whirl. And we're going to put in our raisins. Come on out of there. And our apple. And mix them all together. Now the recipe is going to tell you to put your bread in the pan and pour this over it. But what I'm going to do, because I want to make sure that it's incorporated in all of it, and I hope my bowl is big enough. I just want to make sure that all that bread gets all the goodness in it. Oh yeah, that's good. Let that bread soak up all that moisture. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now I sprayed this with some vegetable spray. Oh, and my oven has preheated to 350. Also, get all that down in there, baby. Looking good. Now we're going to put it in the oven for 30 to 40 minutes. Make sure all of the moisture is sopped up into that bread. And when you push on it, it just kind of springs back a little bit. So we'll get that in the oven. We'll bring you back here in a minute. Y'all sit tight. All right, we're probably a little more than halfway with the pudding being cooked. Now we're going to work on our sauce. And basically what I've got is a cup of heavy cream. Half a cup of milk. Half a cup of sugar. And we're just going to kind of let that get that sugar melted. Bring it to a simmer. This is going to be a little while. When I get to where we're going to add the rest of our ingredients, I'll bring you guys back. We have to get that sugar to dissolve. Then we're going to add some cornstarch and some vanilla. So sit tight. I'll bring you back. Okay, to our 1 cup of whipping cream, half a cup of milk, half a cup of sugar, we're going to add 2 tablespoons. I'm going to attempt to. 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. I was trying to do that so I could add it in a little at a time. I didn't want it to get all lumpy. Also didn't want to get it all over the stove either, but hey, it is what it is. The thing with this, you just want to keep stirring it. You don't want to scald your milk and cream. You don't have to have it boiling. But you do want to get it down to where it's, you know, the consistency of, I don't know, maybe honey, maybe. You want a good thick sauce, I guess is what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm going to keep working on this. I'll bring you back here in a minute when it's done. Well, here in about 2 minutes, the pudding's going to come out. I'm going to cut back. We'll be here in a minute. Okay, now I'm about to the consistency that I want. It's pretty thick. It's getting hard to stir, and it's going to thicken up just a little bit more after it cools. Add my vanilla. Getting about another minute or so for the. We're going to check that pudding. Yeah, I like that. That looks good, baby. You know, and if you wanted to make this sauce all by itself, I don't know, maybe take some canned biscuits and pat them out and make some faux cinnamon rolls. You can make this as a topping and put this on there. Just let that cool off just a little bit. Uh-oh. Lost a raisin. Alright. You know, I don't think that's quite done. It's not. I'm going to put it back in. That's not done yet. That's not done. I'll bring you back when it's done. Sit tight. Okay, there she is, fresh out of the oven. We're going to let that cool down just a little bit before we dress it with our glaze. Yeah. Anyway, let that cool down just a little bit. We'll be right back. Probably let that cool off just a little too much, but that's all right. It's doing what I want it to. Now then. Now then. Uh-oh. Come on, baby. There we go. Oh, it's still too hot to eat. Oh my goodness, but it sure smells good. Oh my goodness. Here we go, guys. That's too hot to eat. Burn my face off. Mmm. Oh yeah, look at the steam. That'll work. I like the apples in there. That added just a little different level to it. Yeah. You guys want to make a good dessert for like Thanksgiving or a picnic or something? This is it. It's awful rich, but it sure is good. Anyway, thank you guys for spending your time with me. I really appreciate it. If you would hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want to see more of these videos, hit the notification bell and select all. I've got more stuff coming. And just so y'all know, I'm like 2 months out. I've been banking my my videos. So the ones that you saw 2 months ago, however, you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm trying to do this so if I happen to miss a week, then I'm not behind the gun to get one done. So I'm trying to get 2 or 3 done a week, and I schedule them, you know, each week out. So if that makes sense. So even though I'm doing this one on August the 14th, it's probably not going to be out till the middle of October. So anyway, that's how that goes. Anyway, again, thank you guys for spending your time with me. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next week. Stay tuned.